Here we will go over a detailed long report that we've generated from the home page. So if I actually go back to the home page, you can see that we've loaded J&J from the Value of Company or ETF panel, and we're looking at the report. The report is very detailed. There's a lot of information in it, and we'll go through it quickly just to show you the depth of the analysis that's in here. Starting with the last close price, this is as of July 1st, 2020. We have a weighted average valuation of 135.75 against the close price of 140, which implies that we think it's overvalued by 3%. The models that we used are shown here: comparables, adjusted book, and multiples. And we look at it on the valuation basis of cash flow, comparables, and assets. We also show what we have for analyst consensus data on the stock too. We do a quick technical analysis on it as well. We don't spend a lot of time on the technicals, using moving averages mostly to come up with this technical analysis, but that gives us an indication from a technical point of view. At the heart of it is this chart that shows the different valuation methods and the calculations that we've derived with those methods. Our discounted cash flow, price comparables, other comps, multiples, adjusted book, analyst consensus, and then an average of those. A bit more information here. What did we get for DCF or discounted cash flow? What comparable companies did we use, and what did we get there for valuation? What did we get for valuation of the company against itself, using its balance sheet, and what are the analysts saying about it? So the algorithms that are happening behind the scenes are parsing through all of that data to come up with our weighted average valuation calculation. 8,000 stocks that fall into 150 different industries. So the algorithms are going through that to understand what the valuation we think is based on the information that we've calculated. Bit of an overview on the company, description, our weighted average cost of capital calculation, how we came up with that. And as you may or may not be aware, all of this data gets loaded in the value menu as well too. So whenever we run a company from the home page, it actually builds all the models for us as well. This is the analyst consensus that we have on it. You can see the number of buys, holds, sells, EPS estimates, revenue estimates, etc. We use that data, or if we don't have analyst consensus, we use growth rates by industry to create forecasted financial statements for each of the companies. We use those forecasts in our discounted cash flow model, and you would have the discounted cash flow model available in the value menu as well. We do some sensitivity analysis around the discounted cash flow model. We look at the comparable companies in that space and come up with valuations using the comparables, using price to earnings, price to book, sales, cash flow, and EV/EBITDA. We do another set of ratios: cash, book value, market cap, 1-year return, and net PP&E, and this is really for companies with no revenue or negative net income. So for smaller companies, we cover all of the companies in the Toronto Venture Exchange, for example, and very many of them do not have any analyst consensus or any analyst coverage at all. So we needed another set of metrics to help value those companies. Multiples is using the company's own data historically to come up with a valuation for itself. So you can see based on the last 5 years for J&J, we're generating a 136, which is close to where the company is currently trading at. And then the adjusted book value, we look at the adjusted book value and calculate it against the historic price to book ratio to come up with a valuation for the company that way as well. We look at the company within its sector to see how it compares with the sector that it's in. So you can see its price to earnings ratio versus the PE ratio for the industry, price to book, etc. And then the rest of the report is the financial data: income statements, balance sheets, cash flow, and then the ratio data for the company. So that's the detailed report that gets generated every time you run a report from the home page. And when you run the detailed report from the home page, it builds the models for you as well. So you can see cost of capital, discounted cash flow, and so on. So that's an overview of the report in the StockCalc site.